guys, I'm Charlie, your Charlie Book Fanatic, and today I'm going to do the favorite series book tag. This tag was created by Grace over on Grace Baggins, and I will leave her video down below for you to check out. Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I had my hair cut, and yes, I absolutely love it. So, immediately over to the actual video content. Today I'm going to talk about Superlative series by Jennifer Echols, because that is one of my favorite series. I actually wanted to choose the summer series by CJ Duggan, but I talked about CJ Duggan a couple times now, and I didn't talk that much about Superlative series, so I decided to do the Superlative series for this video. Also, I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but there might creep a little spoiler in here and there, so if you want to read the series and don't want to be spoiled, beware. First question is, what is your OTP for this series? My OTP for this series is actually Sawyer and Tia, which is kind of weird, because Sawyer and Tia aren't a couple in the series. They are not coupled off in the books. Tia and Sawyer have a kind of a fling, but they're not in a serious relationship and they don't get paired off. But I actually really ship them together, even though they ended up with different people. Second question is, what is your no TP? OTP is, by the way, one true pairing, and no TP is, well, not your true pairing. Something like that. I don't know the exact definition of no TP, but it's something like that at least. My no TP for this series is Brody and Harper. They are the second couple for this book series, so they are the couple for the second book. I didn't ship them. I didn't like Brody that much, and that's really, they don't have chemistry. They were voted most perfect couple that never was, or something like that. And yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see their chemistry. I didn't feel the chemistry. I just didn't like them much together. What was the moment that brought you most joy? For this one, I chose Sawyer opening up to Kay, which happens in the third book. This is not a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil anything Sawyer opens up about, but Sawyer has a really troubled past. He's a really troubled and complex boy, which makes me like him the most of all of these boys. It's a trilogy, by the way, so there are like 3 boys, but I like Sawyer the most of them. I really love book 3. I really loved Sawyer's story, and I really loved him slowly opening up to someone. What was the moment that brought you the most sadness? For this one, I chose learning about Sawyer's past again, because Sawyer had the most sad story from all of these characters, and I was really sad to learn about Sawyer's past and how he had to deal with that while he is such a hardworking and sweet boy. When did you realize that this series had became your favorite series? I realized it when I couldn't wait to read the next book, like immediately after reading the last one. I read these books fairly quickly after each other. I had to wait for the last book to come out, Most Likely to Succeed, but the trilogy is complete now, and I just couldn't wait to pick up the next book, and I adored all of these books, some more than others, but I adored all of them. I loved seeing all of these characters and learning more about them, and yeah, I love this series, guys. My hair has been wild today. I don't know how to handle short hair anymore. I had short hair when I was little, like 2 years back for a while, but I don't know how to handle it. I have to learn all over again. What is your favorite book in this series? Even though I really loved Sawyer's book, which was the last one, Most Likely to Succeed, I think Biggest Flirts, which is the first book in the series, was my favorite book of the series, because it was the first book I read, obviously, in the series, and I just fell in love with it. I loved Tia and Will and learning and getting to know all of these characters, and just the excitement of starting a new series, and I didn't feel that way with the second and the third book. Who is your favorite character? Well, you might have expected that I would say Sawyer, but I'm actually going to say Tia. I love Tia's temper and just her character, her aggressiveness to stand up for her friends and be there for them and just going for what she wants, and yeah, I just loved Tia. Who is your least favorite character? I'm going to go for Brody or Angelica. Well, Brody, I talked about him earlier, is the boy in the second book, and he's my least liked character, or Harper's ex-boyfriend, which I forgot the name of, who was also an asshole. But Angelica, I don't know how to explain her without spoiling anything, but she was basically going off with everyone's boyfriends and just flirting with everyone, and it was crazy. So crazy. Have you reread the series? If so, how many times? No, I didn't reread this series because I finished the last book this month, actually November, and I didn't have time to reread it. And I don't know if I even would want to reread this series. I mean, it can be my favorite series without wanting to reread, right? How has the series impacted you? Well, it hasn't impacted me in my daily life, but I do think about these characters sometimes, like, what would they be up to now? What would they do after college? How would they end up in life? Like, I think about these characters in my daily life, obviously, but it hasn't impacted me in a way that changed my life or anything. It also actually gave me an insight into what is healthy and what is not in relationships, because there are unhealthy relationships in these books, and the books depict these relationships for what they are, which is unhealthy. And it really gave me an insight into what is healthy and what is not, and just human behavior. So this was a favorite series book tag. Please check out Grace's video. I really enjoy doing this tag. What would you answer to these questions? Would you like to do this tag? What is your favorite series? Please let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!